Sure. Okay. So I'll just act as if I were the writer that you had hired. And what I would ask you before we started working together is, not just like what is the goal of the social media campaigns, because obviously it's brand awareness and sales, but even a layer deeper than that, what do you want people to do on those social media posts? Does that make sense, right? Do you want people to just like the post? Do you want to share them? Do you want them to share? Do you want them to comment? Do you want them to use a certain hashtag? Because all of those are going to kind of change the way that I write on certain things. So not every post that I write is going to have a hard call to action to have them share something, right? So if it's a much softer campaign, I'm going to write a little bit more stories, right? So actually, I don't have this on the slide deck, but I think this will really help. So I'm going to try to visualize this, right? So when you have a prospect, he's teaching folks how to cook, right? Through their cookware and that sort of stuff. And so if you have someone who's completely unaware of what it is you do and why they need you, I tell stories. Okay, so jot that down. If they're unaware, you write stories. If they're unaware, you write stories. Because stories will hit everybody, right? If they are problem aware, they're aware that there's a problem, but they don't know about your product or solution yet. If they're problem aware, you share secrets. So here's what I mean by that. Going camping in 3 weeks, here are the secrets to what those guys who climb Mount Everest use to cook. Now you're like, I'm a weekend warrior, but a weekend warrior will click on that social post, right? So if they're problem aware, you show them secrets, okay? If they're solution aware, they're aware that there is something out there called a portable stove that they can take on their camping trip. You just talk to them about, here's the problem. You're going camping for longer than 3 days. What do you do with gas and kerosene or whatever? Here's the solution. If they are product aware, they've heard about your brand before, you just make them a promise. We promise. You've trusted us before. We're not going to let you down. If they are, to take a page out of today's book, right? If they're woke, right? They're very aware of like what it is you do. You just make them an offer. Okay, so I'm going to recap that. Okay. If they're unaware, you tell stories. If they are problem aware, you share secrets. Here are the secrets to how the last three people who came back alive from climbing Mount Kilimanjaro cook their food. If they are solution aware, they're aware that they can take a piece of cookware camping. You just state, here's the problem, here's the solution. If they are product aware, they've heard of your brand before, you just make them a promise. And if they're just like your raving fans, they're woke, they're lit, you name it, fire emojis, everything, hearts, hallelujah hands, right? You just make them an offer. And you think about how brands talk, that's a very, very simple copywriting matrix that I'll be sure to put in slides the next time I talk, if they invite me back, right? But that will help you. And what I'll do is I will post that on my Instagram. I have a post on that, and then you guys can just check that out there. So to your point, I would ask you now, with the social media campaigns and what the vision is it to try to keep people who are product aware engaged, or is it to get new people in? So what would you say to that?
Oh man, I didn't even thought about it.
You can hire me. Like that, right? All right, okay. But no, in all seriousness though, that's what I would ask you, because those 5 pieces of writing, stories, secrets, solution offer, right? Making a promise and making a hard offer are all very different types of writing for me as a copywriter. So in a particular launch campaign, guys, when you're looking through that, and when somebody comes to me and says, can you write our entire launch? We've never done this product before. Then I'm like, oh, well, you need all 5 of those kind of content. That makes sense, right? If this is a repeat launch, look at what Apple does. They're so lazy at this point with their marketing, because they can be. iPad, buy. You're a new brand, you're selling, look at what The Rock does on Instagram with his tequila. Dude doesn't stop talking about it. He's telling story after story after story after story, right? Titan Games, story after story after story after story, because he's really trying to get people to open up there. So I think that's a good place for you to start, right? Just think, and we can talk a little bit later. So let's give him a hand. Thank you for sharing that. Okay.